The people of this country work hard to meet their responsibilities. The question tonight is whether we'll meet ours. The question is whether, in the face of an ongoing national crisis, we can stop the political circus and actually do something to help the economy. I am sending this Congress a plan that you should pass right away. It's called the American Jobs Act. There should be nothing controversial about this piece of legislation. Everything in here is the kind of proposal that's been supported by both Democrats and Republicans, including many who sit here tonight. And everything in this bill will be paid for. Everything. It will create more jobs for construction workers, more jobs for teachers, more jobs for veterans, and more jobs for long-term unemployed. It will provide a tax break for companies who hire new workers, and it will cut payroll taxes in half for every working American and every small business. If we refuse to act, middle-class families will get hit with a tax increase at the worst possible time. We can't let that happen. I know that some of you have sworn oaths to never raise any taxes on anyone for as long as you live. Now is not the time to carve out an exception and raise middle-class taxes, which is why you should pass this bill right away. To make sure the money is properly spent, we're building on reforms we've already put in place. No more earmarks. No more boondoggles. No more bridges to nowhere. We're cutting the red tape that prevents some of these projects from getting started as quickly as possible. How can we expect our kids to do their best in places that are literally falling apart? This is America. Every child deserves a great school, and we can give it to them if we act now.
A lot in the president's speech that I think that are areas that we can work together on, specifically in the area of small business tax relief. That's something that we Republicans have been advocating for quite some time now. If we're going to see an economy grow again, we've got to get the small business men and women back into action. They're the real job engines. Some of the rhetoric that I heard in the president's speech sounded a lot like that surrounding the stimulus pitch when we went through that over 2 years ago. And so I'm worried that once again we would find ourselves in a spending binge.
Not only should Congress not pass his plan, I say, Mr. President, stop. Your last plan hasn't worked and it's hurting the American economy. Instead of temporary fixes, do it as worked in the past. Permanent, pro-growth policies that are driven by the free market.
The special committee is going to be asked to find another $450 billion on top of the $1.5 trillion they've already been asked to do. And whether or not it can be done, I think there's going to be a bipartisan reaction that that's not really how a president should lead. And I think it's going to create a little tension with lawmakers.
The economy is clearly struggling, as he described it, an economy at risk of stalling, and he is proposing some very bold actions. And this is the size of action that I think is appropriate and could absolutely move the dial and could absolutely have an impact on job creation and unemployment.
The issue is you have two segments of Congress that have to agree on a program and implement it. And what we're doing is having adults in a sandbox with tribes and flags who don't play well with each other. And it's an embarrassment in the world. It's not the president's problem, it's our problem.
Regardless of the arguments we've had in the past, regardless of the arguments we will have in the future, this plan is the right thing to do right now. You should pass it. And I intend to take that message to every corner of this country.